Hey, it's Rick with Rock Bottom Outreach, and it is Real Talk Wednesday. I want to talk about Bible study first and foremost, and the importance of studying the Bible, also fellowshipping with other believers, and spending time discussing God's Word. Number one, a lot of people have a different perspective on God's Word that possibly you never thought about, and that's good. It's good to hear that and to be open-minded to that type of discussion. But for so long, I just did not. Here's exactly what I said. I don't need Bible study because you do not have to prove anything to me. That was my way of saying I had no interest in growing in the Lord. I just didn't. But especially if you are a believer and you do not attend something that keeps you connected to other believers, a lot of times you become disconnected. But why do you think also, we talk about parables in the Bible, okay, that Jesus utilized parables as a teaching point. But why do you think God goes into detail about certain things, different stories? We're talking about Noah's Ark, Adam and Eve, and in particular today, we're going to talk about Cain and Abel. And why is that relevant? And this is where I want your feedback. We are doing what we call Bible Basics 101. Blake Porter's great about writing this and simplifying it. Because as I've told him, if we're not discipling and teaching, what are we doing? Honestly, we're just doing stuff. It is our job to be a witness, evangelize, and equipping everyone else to do the same thing. So that right there, if you have a desire to share the gospel, that is so important. Why you get into God's Word. So I want to be able to begin to teach you a little more, not just Rick's opinion, but remember, I've gone back to school and it kind of, and I said before, I want to teach you what they're teaching me in a different perspective. So let's go to Cain and Abel today. It's in the book of Genesis, which is the first book of the Bible. It's in the very beginning. I want to read this to you. This is Cain and Abel, Genesis chapter 4, verse 1. And it says, Adam made love to his wife Eve. So we're talking about Adam and Eve. And she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. She said, with the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man. Later she gave birth to the brother Abel. And so Cain and Abel are brothers. Now Abel kept flocks and Cain worked the soil. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering to the Lord. And Abel also brought an offering, fat portions from some of the firstborn of the flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering. The Lord was digging what Abel brought. But on Cain and his offering, he did not really look with favor. So Cain was very angry and his face was downcast. Then the Lord said to Cain, why are you so angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? And so he was really upset because he did not get the recognition he felt he deserved. We're all like that sometimes. We want to be recognized. But he said this, if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at the door and it desires to have you, but you must roll over it. Okay, you need to remember this going forward. He said, but if you do not do what is right, sin's crouching at the door, it desires to have you, you must roll over it. Now Cain said to his brother Abel, hey, let's go out to the field. Cain had a plan. While they were there in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and he killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, where's your brother Abel? I don't know, he replied. Am I my brother's keeper? Wow, he's sassing God. Can you believe? He was being smart to God. Tell me that's not bold. It's bold enough you killed your brother, and now you're being a smart mouth to God. That's not very smart at all, is it? And the Lord said, man, what have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you're under a curse, driven from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from the hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer, this is a punishment, yield its crop for you. You will be a restless wanderer on earth. So a vagabond, essentially a bum. Cain said to the Lord, my punishment is more than I can bear. Today you're driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. Here's what the Lord did. He said, but the Lord said to him, not so, not so. Anyone who kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over. Then the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one who found him would kill him. So Cain went out from the Lord's presence, and he lived in the land of Nod, east of Eden. My question is this. Number one, this is a great description of the consequence of jealousy. Honestly. And so if you are resentful, jealous of what your neighbor has, again, we're still talking God's principles of commandments. But this right here, he talked about sin is crouching. So Cain was jealous of Abel in the favor God showed him. So he took it upon himself to kill him. What happened? Jealousy resulted in him sinning. And that sin was he murdered his brother. In turn, there was a consequence for his choice. But here's my question. When it says, understand it says, but the Lord said to him, not so. Anyone who kills Cain will suffer vengeance. Truth is, he did not say no one would attack or kill Cain. He just said there will be a mark on him. So whoever takes it upon themselves to do that will what? 7 times the vengeance, suffer vengeance 7 times over. My question today is this. Really, why do you think God put a mark on Cain? What do you think his motive was in doing that? And do you think it was a physical mark? What do you think that looked like? This is where I want you to participate. This, if you know, I just want your opinion. So, bam, let us have it. Hey, don't be jealous. Don't be a hater. And don't be sassing God. Holy moly. Hey, it's Rick with Rock Bottom Outreach. Been a real talk Wednesday.